Aresti, the language of the contest judges line. At every contest, 3 or more grading judges sit, with their assistant judges and their recorders, quickly reading Aresti from the flight program forms as competitors roar past at 200 miles per hour. Reading and speaking Aresti. Like learning any other language, we can start learning Aresti by learning to read. Like many languages, reading and speaking Aresti is easier than writing correct Aresti grammar. This will be covered in a later training chapter. An Aresti figure that is part of a flight program begins with a figure number next to the solid dot that marks the start or entry point of the figure. The reader moves along the solid and dashed lines that depict the figure until reaching the end point of the figure, marked by a short perpendicular bar. Black solid lines mean upright or positive G flight. Red and or dashed lines mean inverted or negative G flight. To a reader and speaker of a competition flight program, an Aresti figure is a series of pulls, pushes, lines, loops, rolls, and spins. For non-pilots, pull means move the nose toward the pilot's head. Push means move the aircraft nose away from the pilot's head. The Aresti 1.1.2.1 figure at the right may be read as Figure 9, pull to 45 up, push to level flight, exit upright. The Aresti 1.1.2.2 figure may be read as Figure 4, push from inverted to 45 up, pull to level flight, exit inverted. This Aresti 7.2.2.1/9.1.3.2 figure may be read as Figure 2, pull to half loop up, half roll, exit upright. This Aresti 7.4.1.2/9.1.3.4 figure may be read as Figure 11, push into a full loop, full roll on top, exit inverted. Note, the arc slow roll symbol is always oriented with the curve in the direction of flight.
Figure 6, 1/4 roll, followed by an opposite direction 3/4 roll, half loop up, positive. 1 negative snap on the top, followed by the same direction, 4 of 2, end figure inverted. Figure 7, push vertical up, push level, end figure. Figure 8, push 45 down, 4-point roll on the down. Pull the 45 up, inverted. One half positive snap to upright, push level, end figure. Figure 9.
Alternate names for Aresti figures. Some Aresti basic figures have commonly used names. An Aresti figure on a flight program can always be read and spoken as the sequence of its parts. But some figures have historical or colloquial names that may be used between experienced Aresti speakers. Aresti 1.2 figures that begin with a pull from level flight to a 45 up are sometimes called shark's tooths. Aresti 1.2 figures that begin with a pull from level flight to a vertical up are sometimes called wedges. Aresti 1.3 figures that have 2 vertical lines are often called ends. Aresti 1.3 figures that have 2 45 lines are often called fishtails. Aresti family 2 figures that combine turning and rolling are often called rollers. Aresti 7.2.1.1 is often called an Immelman after the first pilot who is reported to have flown it. Aresti 7.3 figures are often called goldfish due to their shape. Aresti 8.4 figures are called Humpties for reasons that have been lost in the mists of history. Aresti 8.5 horizontal figures are often referred to as half Cubans since they are one half of a 7.8 type figure. Aresti 8.5 vertical figures are often referred to as teardrops due to their shape. Aresti 7.8 figures are often called Cuban 8s. Reading, speaking complex Aresti figures. A reader-speaker can see a base figure with multiple complementary roles together. It is important to read-speak the roles in the order that the symbols show that they must be flown. Remember that the solid dot marks the beginning of the figure, and the roles must be read in the order that they are encountered as the reader moves along the flight path depicted by the figure symbol. The competitor must also fly them in this order. It is important to read and speak the direction of the second roll in relation to the first roll of a combination. The second roll can be drawn in the same direction as the first roll, or the opposite direction. The rules of Aresti grammar or construction, and the rules for judging a competitor's execution of the figure require that the competitor must fly the direction of the second roll in the pictured directional relationship, same direction or opposite direction, to the first roll. If the competitor does not fly the roll sequence correctly, a hard 0 score is earned. The example above may be read as Figure 8, full positive snap, opposite half roll, exit inverted to the left. Note: the flag at the apex of the snap roll symbol points in the direction of flight. Reading, speaking Aresti stall turn Hammerhead figures. Family 5 stall turns or hammerheads have the unique characteristic of the single vertical line of the figure symbol depicting both the vertical up and the vertical down lines that a competitor must fly. The Family 5 base figures may have complementary rolls on both the vertical up and vertical down. When reading, speaking the Aresti Family 5 figures, careful attention must be paid to the location and the orientation of complementary roll symbols. For slow rolls, the curve of the arc indicates the direction of flight. The arc can be visualized as a drawn bow, or the relative wind pushing the tips of the arc backward to show the direction of flight. For snap rolls, the short line at the apex of the triangle symbol points in the direction of flight. Family 5 hammers will generally have rolls that are to be executed flying vertically up, drawn above the entry line that meets the vertical. Family 5 hammers will generally have rolls that are to be executed flying vertically down, drawn below the entry line. The example 5.2.1.3/9.1.3.4/9.10.5.4 figure at the right may be read spoken as Figure 5, hammer, pull to vertical up, full roll up, 1 1/4 negative snap down, push to exit inverted on the y-axis. The example 5.3.3.3/9.1.1.3/9.1.4.4 figure at the right may be read spoken as Figure 4, hammer, pull to vertical up, 3/4 roll up, hammer, push to 45 down, full roll, push to exit inverted to the right.
End figure. Figure 9. Half roll, pull 5/8 loop down to 45 up. Half roll to inverted. Pull, loop down. End loop level, upright. End figure, figure 10, pull vertical up, 2-point roll in the up, canopy down, tail slide. Two of 4 on the down, pull level, end figure, figure 11, 4 of 8 followed by an opposite direction, 1.5 rolls, half loop up. 3 of 2 on the top followed by a same direction, positive snap. Figure 12, 270 roller, 1 full outside, 1 half inside, end figure inverted. Figure 13.
In conclusion, fluency in reading and speaking Aresti is a critical skill on the contest judges line, with competitors moving at high speed across the box. An assistant judge reads and speaks Aresti as a series of descriptive words that tells a grading judge 1. When a figure begins. 2. The figure components to look for and grade. 3. In the order that those figure components are to be executed. And 4. When the figure ends, the exit attitude, and the exit direction. The assistant judge must be sufficiently fluent to read and speak the Aresti figure ahead of the competitor's execution of that figure.